when it comes down to her asking for petty stuff,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you're not the guy who just says yes to paying for
Mm-hmm.
everything. If she wants
Yep.
to chew gum, if she wants to have a Coca-Cola, these things she should pay for herself, because otherwise you'll be in a tough spot where you will always be supposed to be paying for everything.
Hey, Jamie Woods, we here to travel and motivate. No curry, we just trying to keep our minds in a golden state. We answer to nobody but the Lord, we control our fate. Too many things to see just to sit in a hole and bake. We growing, ayy.
But so Swedish Gringo, so what are some culture shocks that you faced when you first moved to Brazil?
I'd say one of the culture shocks probably is the different brand of humor over here. You have to kind of change your personality a little. If you're a funny guy liking to joke around, you need to just tweak it a little, because irony doesn't work here. It does not work to be sarcastic, because it's not that they don't use it. It's used another way, and it functions differently in Portuguese. So whenever you're saying something from a Western point of view, ironically or being sarcastic, it will be received as, being very rude, or just giving them smack in the face. So that is one of the things. I actually had dates going very wrong, dates being canceled due to the sense of humor I was using. So that is really an advice to keep in mind. Apart from that, it's the time adjustment thing, I guess. I'm Swedish, I'm very organized. In Brazil and typically in Rio, people never, ever come in time. So you just have to roll with that. I have become, just accustomed to it. I don't even arrive in time myself. So it's kind of a race to the finish line. Who is the least, who's going to be most late without pissing the other person off? That's an adjustment. Can't be angry over people being late either, in case they're just very late, perhaps, but that's just not something they argue over here. So you got to just find something to do, or make sure the other person is actually in an Uber. They're actually on the way where you're supposed to be going. If you don't have that verification, don't go there yet, because they will not be there waiting. They will be, the moment they arrive, they will expect you to be there. So that's it.
I agree with you, man. I mean, that's something that I had to deal with multiple times, where I would tell someone, okay, be here at this time, let's hang out this time. And they wouldn't get there until like another 30 minutes, an hour. I'm like, what is going on here? But of course, you can't get mad at them, because it's kind of like a cultural thing. And I kind of understand, because I'm Latin American myself, and Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, it doesn't matter where they're from in Latin America. I feel like every single Latin American person does the same thing. They're all late. They're all fashionably late.
And they're being treated that way by their friends. So they don't even think about it. Just one more quick thing, cultural-wise, showering. There's no other people in the world that showers as often as Brazilians. And you need to know this, because you need to know what to answer if they ask you, have you taken a shower? They always the answer is yes. In Rio, when it's warm like now, people shower 3 to 5 times a day. So if you shower just 2 times a day, you will be perceived as, not very, taking care of your hygiene. If you say you shower once a day, they might even, think of you differently. So the right answer is always, I shower at least 2 times a day. Never, ever answer anything else.
And yeah, I love that you said that, because that's also a culture shock that I experienced, but something I completely forgot about. Because in other countries, like usually 1-2 times, but I think Brazil just takes that to the next level. I feel like it's every single couple hours they take a shower over there, and I totally understand why, because it's so humid and hot over there. And I remember getting outside the shower, and I was already sweating from the humidity. I was like, you know what, I may have to go back into the shower. So I understand why they take so many showers.
That's always their own excuse. We're a tropical country, right? But in all the other tropical countries, people don't shower 5 times a day. So it's a combination of these two. I think the worst nightmare for a Brazilian is to smell bad. I really think it's deeply rooted in smell is extremely important here. People are a little paranoid over that, so they just shower 1 time extra to not be, that kind of person. If you're a gringo, yes, think a lot about the way you smell, because it doesn't matter how pretty you are here. If you smell bad, you don't particularly need to smell fantastic. You don't want to have to wear perfume all the time. But if you smell bad, people will not come near you.
Yeah, that's 100% the truth, man. So Swedish gringo, so what would you say are some pros and some cons of living in Brazil?
I mean, cons are very few. When it comes to me and surviving, making money, that would be one of the cons. It's you can't really make money out of Brazilians and you're typically not allowed to do it either. People don't pay for service here, and they don't have as much money either. So it's not the first place in the world I would consider setting up a business, at least not a local business. Another con, time, of course, making appointments. If that's in any way work related, that can, put you in some bad situations sometimes when you need to have a schedule and follow that schedule. And that is, practically the only real cons I can think of. Because once you've adapted, you will be part of this beautiful society as well. Well, I guess we got to bring up safety then as one of the cons, because safety, even though it's my very firm belief that the danger level of Rio, Sao Paulo, Salvador, and the Northeast, it's highly exaggerated. This is something that very much lives in the mentality of the mind of the people here. So they will always be thinking about safety, and it will always be a concern. It will sometimes stand in your way. If you want to be dating here, some girls will refuse to even get in a cab from their house to where you're meeting. You simply have to go with the car to where she is and pick her up, and etc. So for me, it's more, the main problem is that it takes up such a big part of people's life, rather than I'm scared of being the victim of a crime. It's just a very big thing to always care about safety. And well, if I might add one more thing then, when it comes to money, gringos will be perceived as people that have a lot of money. Even if you try to, elaborate and tell them, they will always just think you are rich here. So you will get higher prices at the beach, definitely, even in some shops by any kind of vendor. It has even happened in restaurants, and that's just a pain in the butt. If you sense you're in an environment where you might be taken advantage of because you're gringo, just try to bargain a little. Say that you don't want gringo prices, you want carioca prices if you're in Rio. And this money thing also translates into dating. So when you're gringo dating a Brazilian girl, even more so than if she is with a local person, she will expect you to be paid. So the first dates, you will be most likely the one putting out the wallet. Eventually you can start talking about these things, but being a gringo and dating will mean that you'll be paying for the very majority of the dates. When it comes down to her asking for petty stuff, make sure you're not the guy who just says yes to paying for everything. If she wants to chew gum, if she wants to have a Coca-Cola, these things she should pay for herself, because otherwise you'll be in a tough spot where you will always be supposed to be paying for everything, even very unromantical kind of things. If she goes to the pharmacy buying skin lotion, you will be paying for that. So just draw the line somewhere where it's feeling comfortable for you. If you want to keep paying for all the dates, fine, but don't start paying for the small petty things, because she might start asking you for this and it will not play to your advantage saying yes. You will actually be losing respect by doing that.